Nice. Okay, so if you guys see the stream, let me know, because on my end it's still saying it's just an error, but it also says we're live.
We are live.
We are live? Okay. All right. I just have a funny view on my end, but that's all right.
Like, I'm not seeing us being... there we go.
Okay. Yeah, I just have like the generic YouTube error thing on the preview, so... but everything else was like, it's green, it's healthy. So I was like, okay. All right.
Why am I at the bottom?
Because that's normally that's your normal spot in the
normal
corner.
Spot.
Yeah. So I just stacked on top of you. Anyway, chat, hello. You will have to let us know how the audio is. Things are kind of weird for some reason. I swear I have streamed on this computer since I got it set up, but it's acting like I haven't done anything. So, we'll see. Anyway, Austin's getting over being sick. It's good that you're getting over it. Apparently, a lot of people are getting sick. Isn't making EZD6 game easy. All you need to do is, well, depends on how much you want to go into it. Anyway, there's Glenn. Hello, Glenn. We played your game last night.
We did.
Tales from Elsewhere. Woo! Grimwood. He is also in the chat. He's also in the stream. All right. And Twice Dead. Longtime follower. All right. So
we are nerds and we are proud.
So let's see.
Said, all I see are nerds.
Yeah.
Nerd pride.
So we got a bit going on here. So today we're just going to be making adventures. But before we do get into that, there's some updates in the life of the squirrel, things that have been happening behind the scenes. I don't even know where to start. First, Peter's Kickstarter, link in the description. It is so close. I also have Grimwood Games in the description if you want to go check out his site and all his stuff, and Blaze from World Shapers on my sponsorship wall here, whatever we want to call this. It's starting to look like a NASCAR thing with all the different stuff on it. Oh, all right.
I'm on the sponsorship wall.
So, about a week or so ago, I made a post on Reddit, which was, I hate Reddit, looking for artists for the channel, because I said that was something I would do at the beginning of this year. That was part of my plans for 2025, and here we are in September. so I finally did that and just got completely swamped with responses. Like, it was right at 100 responses, I think, and I just had to shut the post down. I was like, y'all stop. I cannot keep up with this. So I've been looking through the portfolios one by one by one by one by one.
That's a dangerous thing.
So I got it down to 3 that I want to use for, and this is for the avatar, for the channel and squirrel stuff like that, and what to use on thumbnails going forward. But I bring all that up to say I found a lot of artists with ttrpg leaning skill sets, and some were just straight ttrpg artists, like that's what they did. Some very cool stuff. So my plan, I'm going back through the list and reaching out to specific ones, asking for permission to showcase their stuff and their contact information and to make a video about it. Be like, hey, here's the process I went through trying to hire this artist, but here's all these cool artists that I found that you might want to use in your future projects. So let's see. Reddit ain't worth it. It's a dangerous place, but sometimes you got to do it. You were rejected for being AI. Also, you're welcome, Glenn. So let's see. Yes. So that was fun. Well, it wasn't fun. It was a lot of work and made me pull my hair out. But coming back full circle here, I did find somebody I think might be good for Moss and Stone. Wasn't planning on it, because I was just going to reach out to Sean Bova, who's the original EZD6 artist. But I saw this guy's stuff, and he had drawn some otters in this black and white style, and I was like, that's pretty cool looking. So I reached out to him, told him what was going on, and I was like, give me a couple sample sketches. Like, I'll pay you free work, not trying to get free labor. And like, take these otters that you drew in that style, put some adventuring gear on them and stuff, and like, let's see what it looks like, because you might have just scored yourself a lot of work to do. So just sent him some money, and he's gonna start working on that. So we'll see how it goes. I have no idea. It could be bad. I mean, it's definitely not in his portfolio. So you showing off your shirt?
Philadelphia yeah, because Pete's asking about it. Philadelphia Gaming Expo.
Woo!
I'm actually going to be a vendor there this year.
So, well, that's cool. Now, going on a little bit of a tangent, but still with art stuff.
Yeah.
I did poke Peter's wife about doing some artwork for Nuts. And you know what? I forgot to share the Excalibur with y'all. Let's see.
You did. But
I
that's
did.
good.
Let me send it. Let me send it. So y'all can see this and make everybody else wait. All right. So she started drawing some stuff, and I just gave her like very loose prompts, like Blob going on an adventure with a sword and a shield.
Those are great.
They're fantastic. Like this one, I was like, do a little Mega Man inspired dude with a gun arm and like big feet, and she just took it home, man. Knocked it out of the park. So, and what I did was I gave her a bunch of loose prompts, and I ordered a bundle, like a bulk batch, and it was like just black and white. And then the idea was to do color later, but then I dropped these in the manual, and I was like, I really like the black and white look, and I think these characters really fit the bill. So, yes, Mrs. the Sheriff herself. It was great. So, it's fantastic. I love the little twig coming off of his axe.
I know, it's great.
Yeah. So, I got more, but those are the ones I'm showing off. So, that was just a fun little thing happening behind the scenes. And the blob being a donut or whatever. It's just... It's
I love how the eye is kind of falling.
It's just
off.
falling off. He's happy though.
Making me hungry.
So that'll be nuts over there. That's gonna be great. All right, and then So I think that's everything. Oh god. Oh no. The other fun thing is I got in touch with my original editor on my first book that I like so much. She has gone off to make her own editing house, we'll call it. It's a service that big publishing houses will use, like Penguin and whatnot, because a lot of those big houses just contract out editing. So she's going to do a lot of that. She's going to focus on indies people trying to get started, but she's also dipping into the game side of things. Like Choose Your Own Adventures. Apparently those are making a rabid comeback. I had no idea. So, long story short, I might be coming on as an editor for her to work on the game side of things. And she's trying to get into the ttrpg market. And she's already making some contacts. I was just telling Dave before we started, I said, she's a fearsome lady, all 90 pounds of her. So... So that'll be neat. I don't know what that'll do to my video schedule if that comes to pass, but right now we're laying down some groundwork. But for Moss and Stone,
At least you have the schedule.
yeah. For Moss and Stone today, we are going to be working on some adventures and some one-shots, and there's Glee flying between meetings saying hi. Choose Your Own Adventures, a blast from the past. Yeah, apparently they're making a comeback, and she's working with one company who has done 3 contracts with the Redwall IP. So that will be a fun thing to just jump in on. So, anyway, that was a lot to dump on you. Let's make some adventures. The first one, and we're not going to be getting into Dungeon Draft today. I feel like those streams can be kind of boring, but definitely wouldn't be a good use of these two guys' time. So we're just going to be doodling concepts on the board, and then I'll hop in Dungeon Draft either off stream or on a different stream. Now the first one I want to do, I've already kind of thought a little bit about. I think it was Twice Dead Mage who we were working on something, and we kind of came to the idea of a boss being made out of whisper stones, or at least being controlled by one. So like just a bunch of stones, and then the heart of it is a whisper stone. So I want that to be the boss. And I'm thinking about an old temple dungeon thing in the middle of the forest that's long since been forgotten, and that monster is it the sanctuary? Is that the main room of a church where the preacher does the preaching and everybody gathers? Yep. So he is locked in the sanctuary. That's the last room you will get to. And your reward is the whisper stone that he's made out of. But you'll have to go through these other rooms to get that one open. Like maybe it's magically sealed shut or something. So let's scoot over somewhere. I need some empty space. I wish I could ping on this board and like scoot everybody over here.
To be fair, I usually just look at the stream.
That's all right. If you want to draw on here, you can. So
Yeah.
this is our sanctuary. And that'll be the B, B, E, G. And you can have a bunch of pews in here. Oh, why are they shading? I don't want you to shade. Pews. Pew, pew, pew. And then the pulpit. We'll put a book on there. There's pulpit.
Where did you move to? Can't find you.
If you zoom out, you can probably see our mouses moving around.
Yeah, I did zoom out to the maximum, and I'm like circling around and not seeing anything.
So if
What's
you go back to the
going
center where
on?
we were, if you go to the right towards safe zones and then go straight up.
Yes.
I don't
There's
even see
nothing
your
there.
mouse. You're not on here. Did you?
You're not on here.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? I'm gonna like reload the page. Sorry for the technical difficulties that I'm forcing upon everyone.
Do you click the link I just sent you, or did you like go back and find an old one?
No, I opened the old link.
Well, I just sent. I think it changes every time I open it, so I had just sent you a new one.
Oh, well, it worked in the past. Like last time we were playing, and I dropped the images and whatever. Now I can see you guys. Whatever. Maybe whenever you make new share links, it makes the old ones obsolete.
Maybe. I've also had different boards open since the last time, so that might have done it.
Yeah. Whatever.
Hear me out. Tree got struck by lightning. Interior is still burning. A survival and tree crawl dungeon. Ooh. You'd have to be some small animals if that all takes place inside a tree, though. That could be cool, though. The whole thing's
Or a
burning.
really big tree.
Yeah, or a really big tree. It's the super tree. All right.
No.
So we'll say this is typically how I do things. This is the starting room. I'd kind of like there to be some explore the forest first, but I'm not very good at making forest maps because it ends up having to be like you make a maze out of trees instead of just a forest. Because when you drop them on the VTT, depending on how you do your walls and limited view, they can just see all the way to the end.
Another way that I do it is I tend to do like a Zelda thing where each section of the maze is its own map.
Yeah.
Suggestion: since these are little critters, bushes should be tall enough to just block off sight completely. So
That's
you
a good
can,
point.
Control the forest map that way.
That's
Good.
true.
You could. That is a good idea. All right. So I was kind of looking up temples and stuff, trying to figure out what different rooms could be in there. I like a bathhouse.
Never
in there.
forget the toilet.
The toilet. We gotta have the toilet. That's right. That is a Scrat special. So that'll be. It's usually at the beginning. Toilet. Oh my goodness. Toilet. There are tons of other chambers in a church temple you can have. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Peter. Trying to come up with other rooms in there. So like kind of a counseling rooms you got, a dining area if you're a Southern Baptist, you got a big room for all those potlucks. And then
ancient temples would have libraries too.
Libraries, and then considering the setting, I feel like a room dedicated to growing moss would be something you could do.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we think?
Also, is this like a building, or you did mention like maybe built into a big tree?
Well, it's going to be in the woods. It might go underground and be more of the dungeon type of thing, or it could be just stone temple above ground.
I'm just saying because you have like these corridors between the rooms, but if you have to dig them out, it usually makes a bit more sense to squish them together so it's not that much work.
True, but you gotta.
Sorry if I'm going too much from the realism side here.
I was gonna say it's fine.
Starting with the toilet joke.
I was just gonna ask though, like, how many TTRPG maps structurally make sense if you look at their layout? They don't make no building would be built like that. So there is a
I try to make sense in my maps. Sometimes I forget the toilet. I have to admit that. Like when they were exploring the spaceship of the crew, and they were like, "Where are the showers? Where are the toilets?" And I was like, "That's a good point."
Yeah. Usually I kind of forego that side of things if it's a one shot, unless we're like in a big spaceship or something where the shape of it does play a role. But if it's just like typical dungeon run, it's like, no, you just have all these weird hallways and rooms. So I also tend to do the hallways connecting rooms because it's easier in Dungeon Draft for me, the way I draw them up. That way I can have my different sections and like move things and everything. So
do you then remove them at the end, or do you keep them?
Nah, I just leave them in there.
Okay. Fair
Sorry,
enough. Yeah. These could be holy corridors, right? Representing you just doing some sort of mini pilgrimage to the deeper, holier sites, right?
Ooh.
So you can explain them in world.
Yeah.
Just maybe not with the toilet. Or it could be even, Moss, recycles everything, circle of life, and even like the pilgrimage to the toilet and using it as mulch and
Are you
fertilizer.
going?
That's the word I was looking for. Fertilizer.
So if the BBEG is in the sanctuary, and that's the last spot, are you going to have like the door locked and then have them have to go like around?
Yeah, that's the idea. I was just about to ask too, like, how is this door sealed? I was thinking just a magic whisper stone sealed it shut or something, or because barricaded wouldn't do it, because then the players could just undo the barricade and walk straight in.
It definitely have to be magically sealed of something.
So we will say,
I mean, we could go the video gaming route and be like, there
Boss
are
key.
3 seals that are all in the 3 different rooms, starting with the toilet. Sorry,
hey, you joke, but I made a map just like that. They had, I think I've made a few where there's like 3 icons or something on the door that are glowing. It's like, yep, you got to go do 3 things. So,
I mean, literally, we just made one on stream.
Yeah, that's true.
Days ago.
I didn't say it in a way that it's bad, right? Like at the end of the day, we're designing a game.
Yeah, I would say that tells the players what they got to do. If it's just a little one shot, it's like, okay, we got to unlock the door. Let's go find the things. So, yeah.
Then each room can be a different type of challenge. Be it a spiritual quest, a puzzle, some sort of predator who has nested down there.
Yep. I'm not even going to connect these at first.
But yeah, maybe it makes sense to think of room concepts first. Oh, no, right. We do need to find out, do they need to go around, or do they need to open up the main door?
Well, there's going to be different. It's going to be, you walk in, or at least what I'm thinking, you walk in, you see the X number of seals, and you're like, okay, I got to go find the things. And then there'll be multiple doors at the beginning. This holy undetermined thing.
So this is supposed to be a corrupt temple, though, right?
No, not necessarily. It's just there's a monster locked in the sanctuary. And that's why it hasn't been used in a very long time. They just locked the monster in there and left.
Okay.
Maybe it's just as simple as just watering the moss. You see it a bit dry. You see different gardening utensils close by. And when you water the moss, one place just opens up and revealing the seal.
Okay. They have a little secret. Excuse me. Secret door.
You could even have it like have a fountain in front of it that has no water, and then like as you water the plants, it actually fills the fountain.
I mean, it is magic moss.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean,
Oh,
it could also explain. So.
Yeah. The door opens up when the moss realizes to respect the moss.
Well, this is what I was saying earlier. Like the moss is a very holy thing. Once upon a time, people have kind of forgotten over the years. But have either of you seen the '80s Mario Brothers movie?
Yes.
You remember the fungus?
I've seen reviews of it.
Yes.
Okay,
I do
so
remember the fungus.
think of the fungus, how it's kind of alive through that whole thing,
Right.
and there's one thing controlling it. So less sparks and explosions in '80s music, but similar concept. It's swords and stones.
Yes, it is.
All right. What was I gonna say? Puzzle. Water the moss to open the secret door. Sure. Is there any monsters in here?
I mean, one question: how long is the one shot supposed to be?
2 hours, but I'm terrible at that, so.
Because EZD6, now that we play around, the combat is definitely faster than
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's a lot
the
faster.
usual for example, Ishanekon World Shapers. For Ishanekon World Shapers, for example, 2 battles tops. Anything else, and you cannot expect the one shot to be shorter than 2 hours.
Yeah.
So since EZD6 is quicker, maybe 3, max
No,
4.
You can do about 4.
Say
I've
have
done a lot of one shots.
like a moss skeleton in here or something that comes to life.
But the thing is that kind of goes counterproductive to the respect the moss theme of the room, right?
Well, he
if you
didn't
like kill,
respect it.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, I would do something like a plant that's suffocating the moss, and that is, and that plant could be an encounter. It could actually attack and
that is a good idea. I like the idea.
Or just a nasty lizard in here. Desecrating this place.
or a nasty lizard.
Let's see. Let's do this.
I love when Scrat doesn't like it out there. He just comes up with something else that's a little bit more boring.
Possible encounters, not counters. What was the first one? A plant that's getting choked or choking the moss.
That's choking the moss. That's and
boy. Then how do you spell choking? Is it secret? Chalking? That's chalking. That's choking, right?
Yep.
Well, why did it got the squiggle line under it earlier when I did that? All right.
Because you had a space between the I and the G.
That'll do it. That is choking the moss. Or a nasty lizard.
I don't think I've ever played a game where where the game master Scrat.
Right? I've not run one for you. Probably not, because every time we play, it's World Shapers, and you're running it. So
yeah, we need to fix that. Scrat,
yeah. Well, someday. You got the GM's day off thing coming up, so.
Oh yeah, right.
I'll be running coming up.
To be fair, like there has been a lot of complications with the current one, so it's gonna getting shoved further down. So it's probably gonna be more like next year. But yeah, at least we have one planned in the future.
I need to play some nuts with you.
As long as it's not 2 a.m. in the morning.
Nah, we'll make it work. All right, so that's a pretty simple room. What's another room? I had my list here. We got a library.
Right?
Yeah.
confession room, a dining room for big feasts. I want a big feast room.
Ooh, yeah, like with a
Well, then
kitchen.
you're gonna need a kitchen then.
Yes. So let's just doodle over here. That is the wrong color. Dining, and then also, Blaze, I tend to draw little hallways when I'm doing this, so I know it's a different room, and not just me messing up my walls and drawing one when I shouldn't have.
One question: these critters, they eat any form of animals, flesh, meat, or I mean, there's the bug sandwich, so at least they eat bugs.
It's one of those things we just did not define. So obviously they eat other things and meat and whatnot, but you know, how many of those kid things you see with anthropomorphic animals and you're like, what do y'all eat? Or like in the whole entire
And BoJack
Pokemon universe.
Horseman, right?
Yeah.
But okay, the next question: does this have a culture of respect the creature you've slain? Because you have the bug sandwich, so at least insects are being eaten, right? So
Mhm.
that has been established. Is there like a respect for the bug, respected sacrifice kind of culture?
Maybe, but I just kind of got an interesting idea of you could have a inclination like cannibalism or something. Where you can
That's not the direction I was going with this question. Like my direction was, if they do have such a culture, maybe they had to hastily abandon this dining room, and they're like the leftovers of some insects or something that have not received the corresponding respect, and they're just like haunted, and you have like zombie bugs if they enter, trying to eat the players as their flesh has been wasted.
So, if we back up a couple notches, I like what you're thinking. So this game setting has moss monsters, the hollow tongues. Those are the ones that have been taken over by moss. So, and this is where the confusion comes from in the setting where people are split on as far as moss being something holy and something I haven't quite figured out yet. Once upon a time, the moss was a very good thing and like sheltered them, protected them. Moss and stone, that was their sanctuary. And then this weird moss creature came up in their sanctuary and drove everybody off. I think I have some more lore written on that. Let's see. Moss was a gift.
Glenn asked why always cannibalism.
I mean,
I was going down the route of honor your food, don't waste anything, and Scrat was like, scrumptious critters.
I mean, it has been shown in observation that squirrels will eat each other.
They will. All right, so here's what I have written down. It talks about the sanctuary I was just talking about. Moss is referred to as the green voice. That is the driving thing behind Moss, and how they came to worship and all that stuff. There was another force at work, and then that's when the monster comes into their sanctuary covered in moss. But like it's clearly messed up, glazed over eyes and all that stuff. Warriors rose to face the fearsome creature to protect their home. Many died, blah, 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 blah. After the beast's demise, what took place next is what the faithful called the Silent Heresy. Having seen such a beast twisted by what was normally a gift from the green voice, many begin to question their faith in silence. And that's what spread everybody. So there is confusion amongst the people, like they thought the green voice turned on them, and some still believe in the green voice. So there is a mysterious thing happening to the moss. My personal take on it was that the green voice used that monster to drive them away because it knew it was losing a battle to something. But it's supposed to be open to interpretation. Like you can do what you want. So we could have the skeleton in here covered with moss. The whole Whisperstone beast being alive could have been these. Maybe this was a cult instead of a good religious group, or it was a good religious group that messed up and then brought forth the bad moss, and that activated the Whisperstone the wrong way and all that good stuff. So just you could be here to cleanse the temple.
Mhm.
Bye, Glenn. You mean you don't eat cornbread and beans?
Yeah, that was why I was like doing the funny voice while you, not funny voice, like funny face while you were talking about this dramatic story lore stuff. I didn't find your lore funny. I was laughing about the cornbread and beans.
Beans! Beans and cornbread. I mean, they might make some good cornbread and beans. Maybe
This
that's what they
stream
live
is
off
just
of.
making me hungry. First the donut slime, now beans. I like beans.
Beans.
Hmm.
All right. So do we want to lean into that? We're cleansing the temple.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like
Yeah,
it. And then
I mean-
these, and I think it does kind of make. Okay, you could just put the skeleton mouse guy in there.
Well, it could be both. You could have that all this nasty corrupted moss, and then you do something to cleanse it, and then that opens the door.
Right.
I don't know what, but unless you're given an item at the beginning of the adventure, like, hey, here's holy water or whatever, go water all the moss in here.
But what
I
if
mean-
you use that holy water for something else? Say like, oh, this is the solution.
It's a
No, it
grenade.
wasn't. And then you're in the
Yeah.
next room.
I
Yeah.
mean, you could do something as simple as having like a fountain of holy water in there.
Yeah.
That the moss is, and just describe it that the moss is staying away from it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
Fountain of holy water in room. The bad moss could be staying away. There we go. Let's do that. Put it in the corner here.
And if they choose this room first, then now they have holy water that they can use in their others and other encounters.
That's true. I drink the holy water.
Maybe it would be nice to add like one little reward in each room that is differently that they can use in the different rooms.
That's a good idea.
What's funny about I drink the holy water is if you drank holy water in the 16th century, it would be probably lead poisoning because they used to use lead in their crosses. And they used to dip the cross into the water to create holy water.
Doesn't
Sorry.
it kills you 10 years later.
Just think it'd be funny. All right.
That
dining
would be
hall.
that'd be great though. You know, you finish the one shot and everybody's like, okay, my character goes off and does this, mine does this, and you can be like, hey, yeah, you remember that holy water you drank? By the way.
Okay. So we're gonna have a big, large table in the dining hall, right?
Yeah, so we could have, going back to the bug thing, the bug could have got taken over by the moss or something totally different if we're already going to have a skeleton.
I mean, you could do something like there's rotten food that has been mutated, and I know the bug was the thought, but maybe like something even like more grotesque, like rotten milk comes out of a milk thing, and it's this big gooey milk monster.
Instead of the
like that.
poison slimes, you have milk slimes.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, the thing is, I find the idea about drinking milk in a setting like this far more creepy than eating meat.
You
That's
know
a good
what
point.
would be hilarious is if you had a crazy loony NPC in the toilet that was like there to like protect the temple, thinking that, and he just kind of has been hiding away in the toilet for years. And then you get some NPC interaction.
But then I have to roleplay if I'm running it. I'm terrible at that. That's why my one-shots never have NPCs.
I like the idea, and he can give like cryptic tips, but he's just so
Yes.
loony that you don't get any straight answer out of him, even though he's trying to help you.
A ghost in the toilet.
That could also work.
All right.
That would explain, like, of course, if he's like in the toilet for who knows how many years, it's hard to explain how the heck did he survive. I mean, okay, you presume he occasionally ran out to get some food, I guess, but
Maybe the toilet's the only place the evil moss hasn't corrupted.
he's been drinking the holy water this whole time, so he survived. But he's let poisoned brain.
All right.
The lore. It's all coming together.
Slowly, but we're getting there.
Are we going to do a Beauty and the Beast type thing in here, where inanimate objects come to life?
Good. The oven. You could have the oven come to life because there's a whisper.
Exactly.
There's a whisper stone that can. Well, it's supposed to animate lifelike objects like dolls and scarecrows, but
An oven would be kind of scary.
But yeah, a rabbit oven would be.
Oven comes to life, or milk slime.
Is this just the brawl hall basically? Come in here and fight everything? Just
Yeah, and the final seal is then in the kitchen after you fought your way through the dining hall.
Well, I mean, if your goal is to have whisper stones, if you had an animated oven because of a whisper stone, when it dies, it could drop the stone.
And that would be the item that helps you in the other rooms.
Well, so what's sealing this door? Do we want to like find stones specifically for that? You just boom, put in there, or keys?
I mean, there's a reason why it's a trope.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And to be fair, having like magical keels, like maybe each of the top 3 priests had one stone, the sealing stone, and the big ceremony is them coming together, putting them in and walking in. And for some reason or another, they like maybe died in the different rooms, or they just had no time to get it while they ran away.
If we're going to have the ghosts in the toilet, he could be like the final priest, and like you could have each of the stone, a priest comes out to greet the NPCs as they pick up the stone. So you have 3 stones, and then when you put them together, the crazy ghost one comes and joins all 4 of them to break the seal.
I like it.
They could warn you not to go in there each time you get one too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, so let's
and each stone will be like in the skeleton of one of the dead priests.
get to open the door. Reveals a ghost who warns you not to proceed. Right? But then when all 3 ghosts are summoned, or all 3 keys found, whatever, the crazy toilet man joins. I hate everything.
All right. Well, if you don't like our genius ideas, don't invite us to your stream.
Not only that, it is your story. You can always do it what you want.
I know. It's
in
funny,
the end,
though.
we're just giving you suggestions. Also, I do realize that you technically did not invite me. I asked you if you wanted me on there or not. And you were like, do whatever.
Dave did too.
I did too. So technically, I didn't get invited either.
So look, that's how I ended up married, okay? Somebody invited themselves over. And I didn't ask them. She didn't just show up, but she did invite herself over, and that's how we met. So, not going to marry either one of you, but I'm just saying, you got to be careful when you invite yourself somewhere.
Scrat, I love you, man, but not in that way.
Got to read the diary. Got to read the diary of a priest to find a stone.
Yeah, that for the library, I would like that, right?
The library would be good, yeah, for that.
Mm-hmm.
We're still in the dining hall, though.
We are.
Yeah.
I do think the oven idea is a really good idea. And
Mm-hmm.
you can. The kitchen is small enough, so and the oven's big enough that you can't fight it in the kitchen, so it goes into the dining hall.
Or what if you go to the kitchen, you find the stone in the oven, and you're like, "That's the thing we need." And when you get close, the oven does come to life, but it is rooted in place in the kitchen, and like all the pipes and stuff.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, that use the environment. Yeah, that might work. So what's in the dining hall then? Just a room leading into the kitchen?
Let's go look at some of these stones. I still got them on the board over here. Whisper Stone of Animating. You put it on an effigy or scarecrow. That's the one I was talking about. Whisper Stone of Terror. Whisper Stone of Automobile.
Maybe
Ooh.
it's less that the kitchen is animated, but more that just energy is flowing through all the pipes and making this like a obstacle run. Right?
It also doesn't have to be a Whisper Stone that exists. I mean, obviously we can do whatever we want, but it would be kind of neat, like if there was some kind of stone doing that to the oven, and you got the stone from it, and it was similar to what it was doing. Doesn't have to be like that for every room, just this one in particular. Whisper Stone of Tracking. Green Storage. That's a fun one. Maybe they were trying to make Whisper Stones in this temple, and that's where it all went wrong.
Ooh.
That's why they're doing weird
I like that
things.
idea.
So
maybe one of the rooms could be like a crafting room. No, that's the main room, because crafting Whisper Stones was a holy thing, and that was like the whole ceremonial thing, and maybe chanting was involved of the entire church, and then something went wrong. And the rest of the temple uses Whisper Stones, but the thing that made that one thing go wrong just kind of echoed through the hall, so all of them went rogue.
Ooh, one thing you could do is if you did have if the oven is rooted and it's animated, maybe that when they all step in to grab the stone, it animates and it shakes the room and knocks over a shelf next to the door, causing them to be stuck in here with the oven.
Could. That same
And then you
shelf
have
could
the
also...
challenge that the oven is starting to burn down the entire kitchen. So you have a timer, and maybe like the strength-based critter is like, I gotta move this so we can escape, while the other is like, trying to grab the stone.
I was gonna say, if the Whisper Stone in the oven isn't the key for the door, when that shelf falls over or whatever, that could have revealed a hole in the wall that had the right
Correct.
key in it. So
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So players walk in, oven comes to life and shakes the room, knocks over a large shelf/object that blocks the way out, and reveals a hidden compartment. That's not a spell compartment with the key for the sealed door, or a key.
Huh. I was worried about, but what if they like only have the group once it goes in there, and the others like stays in the dining hall, but they can still help by trying to push away
Yeah, they just might
I think
lose a
just block the
turn or
door, right?
something. Yeah, it'd be an action to shove that thing out of the way and get in there. One of the ghosts is a chef, and they got to cook. So not much puzzle in here, just walking in and having a fight. So, do you want to do something
Maybe
silly with
there's a
the
puzzle in the dining area to even open up the door to the kitchen.
that, or you could have optional things on the table, like weird foods. Do we try eating this? Is this safe? What happens? Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me.
Which may give you a benefit and a drawback if you eat them.
Could, or you could just have some items that are actually good and some that aren't, and then just a little randomization.
Just a simple Harry Potter jelly bean situation.
I do not know anything about Harry Potter.
Right. I mean, for those, it was just a taste, right? You could be yummy, and this one, vomit tastes great. Sandwich.
Sandwiches.
We could see. There would be a good spot for like one good sandwich and then a bunch of bad sandwiches, but we're already giving the party whisper stones plus whatever they get to bring with them when they make their characters. So I don't want to give them too much. I'm gonna be blasting through
I mean,
this.
it could be as simple as this is an NPC interaction, the dining hall. You have the ghost that is protecting the key, just sitting there eating sandwiches that just keep falling through him.
And the sandwiches are already rotten, so the place don't get any benefits if they actually eat it.
What about some exploding rotten meat? Touch it and it just
touch it and it explodes.
Bursts. Corrupts you. Poisons you. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some traps, but
it reminds me of a Remnant 2 encounter, but I can't say it because that might be a spoiler.
A spoiler. Yeah, we're playing that.
I mean, that would be a trap, definitely.
Yeah, but like, I'm not sure what the point would be.
Exactly.
Traps are hard, like good traps that aren't just there for trap's sake.
Yeah, because like you're in a temple. Why would they trap it?
I think just have some rotten meat, and if the players investigate it, just like a burst open. And it's not like really like an explosion. It's more like, oh my god. And if you're not
give them a boon for a couple
strong
turns.
enough stomach, you just kind of vomit, which weakens you.
Yeah. Or bugs come crawling out or something.
Have them roll a d6 and for like a con check, and if they if they get like 2 or 1, they end up having a bane for like a minute, and then that way, if they're facing the oven, they might have to have a bane on their rolls because they're so queasy.
I would make like 10 minutes. 1 minute is is way too fast.
All right.
Or 15 minutes.
Or the famous Scotty thing, just don't roll a 1.
Just don't roll a 1. Or this rotten meat will kill you. Alright. That one might need a little more work, but that's fine for now. Alright, what's another room? What do we got?
Library makes the most sense, right?
Library?
Yeah.
Probably. Let's see. We got that. Bathhouse. Offices. Library. Let's do a library.
Maybe we could have a giant bookworm in the library who's been munching on the books.
Or a horde of
and has
worms.
also eaten this seal. So you gotta kill it to get it.
What about a swarm of worms? bunch of worms come out of all the books. Make one big worm.
Well, thank you for helping me with the me having hunger part.
Paper dragon. That's not a bad idea either.
Oh yeah,
No.
I've seen some fun pictures of that. Let's see. Counters. Bunches of bookworms. Might form a giant worm. Paper dragons, monsters. This would be a good room for the animate object, Whisperstone, instead of the oven. Because if the paper's shaped to look like a creature or something living, the stone animates that. But I really like the oven.
I do like the oven. I like the bookworm idea too.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just specialized in making animate creature whisper stones.
Well, I mean, that is what the boss is, so
Mm.
I mean,
checks out. The Church of Animation.
Maybe. The crazy ghost kind of got infused with an animate thing stuff that fell into the toilet, and it's actually like the toilet talking.
Thought you were gonna say it was an animated turd.
No.
Church of Animation, the Disney, DIS.
It's not that evil.
You sure?
God and anime on our side.
Oh yeah, if it was just like a bunch of fan fiction manga from some guy who's come to life, and like a squirrel with spiky hair and badly drawn bulky muscles. That was a joke. Please don't do that.
I thought it was funny.
I mean, it's your adventure. If you want to take that stupid idea, please do. But
What about puzzles in this room? Maybe that'll dictate an encounter.
maybe they find the book about the bookkeeper, which is also the ghost that will appear later, and it's all about talking about he needs to organize the books, and maybe he has a little bit of CD problem, but that's all that is like in the main book. And then it turns out, hey, these books, they're not ordered, and once you start ordering, that triggers the encounter and or opens up the secret room with the stone.
Just gotta fight off a never-ending horde of bookworms as you're solving the puzzle.
Maybe.
I see like this center, like desk area. I was wondering if, like, that's what I was thinking. I don't know. This one's hard.
Hello, cat.
I mean, if they did make a giant worm, then you could have an environmental situation where it could knock over bookcases on players.
But we already smashed over another piece of furniture in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's a bit redundant.
Yeah.
Well, this was just to smack players with, but yeah, it is very similar.
Maybe like the books get animated and they fly around hitting the players, and once they
what if there's a bottle sitting on a desk with some worms in it, and if the players and the keystones in the bottle, so they have to open up the bottle. But as they open it up, the worms just start pouring out of this thing, and then they hunt out the books, and as they get into the books start animating.
So we could have like the puzzles of order the books, then it opens the secret compartment with the bottle with the worms, and that triggers the combat encounter. First the worms, and if you're not quick enough, then the book golem.
I have a picture of a book golem somewhere. I believe it was on a super early version of Nuts. Before I started drawing stick figures.
Best art.
Let's see.
Why not have a bunch of pottery around? We can break too.
Cat, what are you doing? Got a bad cat back there. Oh, this might
Right in
have
front
it.
of the camera so we get more views. Look at the cute kitty that the squirrel is holding.
Why not have a bunch of pottery around we can break too? Austin says.
I just read that one.
Oh, did you just read it out loud? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Whatever. It's,
Right,
maybe
hang
I
on.
wasn't loud enough.
I might have not been paying attention either. I was looking at book golem pictures.
Is the cat making problems?
He was, but he saw that I was getting up and then took off running. Coward.
I'll be back later.
Legends also yeah. I was thinking about making like a "ha yeah" joke, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired. My brain is slowing down.
I thought I was going to be able to find that, but bet you I could do this. Just search it. Now I'm determined. Here it is right there. That was super fast. Dong, book golem. There you go.
Oh, that's from the Monsters and Mutants.
Ah. Kind of looks cool. But you know what I should be doing? Listening to music. Get some.
I got your music.
1 hour most epic anime mix. Just whatever.
All
Click
right.
on the...
So what were you guys saying when I was getting distracted by the cat? Something about read the books and then a jar and then.
So you have to organize the books and then it opens up a compartment with the jar in it, and you can see the keystone, but there's also worms in it. And then when you open it, that's what animates the books to create the giant golem.
Mm-hmm.
So then the players could just run out, or would they have to fight, or
Well,
you could.
The thought process is the worms come out so fast that they can't get their hand in to get the keystone out.
Yeah, that happens,
And
and
if
then
they just run out, the thing will follow them.
Well, no. So this is what I'm thinking. This is something I really like doing too in one shots. Reach in, worms come out. And they see the books start coming to life, and they can stay and fight if they want, or if they're like, heck no, I'm not doing that, and just leave and shut the door behind them. It looks like they took care of the problem, but when they're fighting the BBEG, then the bookworms show up. And that they make the BBEG fight harder. So.
Yep.
I like that one.
All right, so let's do this. What was it? Organize the books a certain way. Right? Organize the books.
Basically just alphabetically or by color or something. And
way.
the hint is the diary of the bookkeeper who shows a lot of OCD tendencies in his writing. So like
Opening the bottle. We'll set the very fast bookworms free, and the books will start animating. If the players don't fight the books, they'll come back later at the BBEG fight. There we go. Very good. Tap, 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 tap. Reading Rainbow Color Organization. Haha. Alright. So there's your library. It's just a square room. I didn't even draw anything in it. That's pretty cool, though. So that's 3.
That's 3. That would technically open the door, unless you want to do more.
Maybe does it have to be more keys, or can we just have more rooms with
I don't think so.
possible loot
You
in
could
them?
have more rooms with possible loot.
Yeah, like the bathhouse or something. What would you put in there? Because we're already getting whisper
You
stones.
just need a spare room.
You got to put a water demon in there, of course.
Yeah.
Or a crocodile.
Maybe some. There needs to be some healing stuff somewhere, unless somebody starts as the doctor.
I mean then the bathhouses could be a healing area.
Yeah. A little refresher. All right. Yeah, another squad. It's even blue. Look at that. That matches. Blue for water. Bathhouse. Is that one word or two? I guess it's one.
It's one word.
All right. Holy water fountain. We already have that in the other room.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
It may come with some slight lead poisoning, so.
You could have actually non-corrupted moss actually in the water, healing it.
Oh, yeah. Is my movement distracting?
No, it is amusing though.
Yeah, trying to get the blood pumping to wake up a bit.
H2O. The bubble. Blah, blah, blah. We already got, let's see. Let me look at the other rooms. We got an encounter, potential encounter in the library, encounter in the moss room, and then encounter with the...
We could literally just have this being a lore room where there's 4 statues in there of the 4 guardians.
True, true.
Good point. And here and and right, no sea stone here, but when the 4th ghost appears, he's like, maybe then he shows you the sea was in the bathhouse the whole time, in that way, some place where the players most likely could not found it. Or we can go the funny round and say, I threw it at the toilet.
I almost want there to be some kind of puzzle in here, but no danger. Just some kind of puzzle they can do to get extra supplies.
I mean, you could have the 4 statues have some kind of like puzzle, like 1 points up, 1 points down, 1 points left, 1 points right, and you have to shift them to point the right way.
Up, up, down,
Maybe
down,
each of
left,
them
right,
has
left,
an
right.
hand open for the sealing stone, and if you first bring the sealing stones to them, the final one will reveal the sealing stone.
Or each time that you bring the sealing stones to the statue, they have a place to hold it. If you put the sealing stone in the hand to hold it, it reveals a chest that has an item, and then that way this place could actually have 3 items before they face the boss.
And if you put it in the door first, it locks it in place.
Yep.
Okay.
So that you don't actually get the item unless you.
Put a note. Putting the keystone in the door will get in place. There we go. A backup stone.
What other rooms did you have?
Offices and like little counseling confession rooms. But that could be your lore room. Is one of the offices or something.
Yep.
Okay, so let's do just another square desk, a chair. That's totally what that is.
This definitely doesn't look like a square with eyes. Nope.
Offices with lore of the temple. Cult.
Oh, we keep saying that there's journals in each of these rooms. Maybe they're not in each of those rooms. Maybe they're in offices.
That's
of
what I'm
each of
thinking.
the-
I think Austin was the one saying each room had something journal-wise. So, yeah, I think that'll probably be enough.
Yeah.
Because again, 2 hours, they could just go right through it, and they could take 3 weeks. You never know. All
I mean,
right.
it has the 5-room dungeon
And
methodology. So
if this needed more padding, we also have the forest side of it too that I had
Mhm.
like that I originally started out doing, but then cut because I was like, that'd be hard to squeeze in there 2 hours, but we can see. Okay, so what's another adventure idea?
Okay, another adventure idea. So we had a classic puzzle dungeon. How about we make one focus on exploration, going into the wilderness? I mean, this is
That-
all about nature and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Scott just said that.
Right? Oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. No. I get what you're
So-
saying though, because the if this started with the forest, it would be very
Is there any kind
focused,
of
I
like
guess.
conflict between the critters in the world?
That is up to the not officially. Like obviously, not every faction is going to get along. You're going to have your thieves and your gangsters. There will probably be some cults yet to be designed by me. I do
I
want
was just
people.
thinking if there's two factions, we could have like a 2-faction type situation.
I know I at least want to put in the lore, the religious split. Like, okay, here's the people that still worship and think the moss green voice is real. Here's the rest of the world that has given up on it. And then here's the weird cult that tries to use it the wrong way. They want to become the moss monsters. So
I know your cities are safe zones, so we
Yeah.
really shouldn't do a city adventure per se. What if you had 2 villages that were fighting over a supposedly holy area of land, and one of them was the people who believe that it needs to be burned and destroyed, and one of them thinks it needs to be saved?
good. Party gets on a swan boat, swan maybe, a swan boat for a cruise, and it goes wrong. Good. You could also be working on making a place a safe zone. Like it could just be not so
Mhm.
safe at the moment.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Take care of the viper's nests.
And so like the way it's shaping up in the setting, the safe zones are the way they are because not everybody's all happy and working together, but like adventurers are not well respected, but like well utilized. Everybody understands their importance, and that's how they use adventurers to keep these safe zones connected and supplied. So a supply run, you could be like, nope, we're just going from safe zone 1 to safe zone 2.
Escort.
Basically, Peter's caravan escort one, like that one shot he had where you're crossing the river. So you could have something very similar to that.
And you could be like, for the one shot, just decide which route do you take, right? Do you go past the river where there might be some water monsters lingering, or do you climb through the trees, which might not be the easiest route if you have like more bulky critters, and or
I was gonna say, as a matter of fact,
evil birds.
You could make one very similar to Peter's one shot. Instead of the blood oilers that show up at the end, it's a moss monster instead. River crossings or peak RPG. Yeah.
Gameplay.
Yeah, I was saying you could have one very similar to that instead. Maybe not a river you're crossing, but I mean that would work too since this is little critters. It wouldn't take a huge body of water to give them trouble. So you could have that exact same scenario, but then the moss monster comes over the horizon at the end of it. I don't know. Might do that. TFE, Moss and Stone.
I'm giving you an example to see from my adventure, and you go right to Peter. The whole taking different routes is inspired by the one official one-shot that I published, where you have to kill an ice dragon. Oh, kitty! Oh, kitty!
Kitty tax.
It's an
Sorry, I'm
annoying
easy
cat.
pleased with kittens. Or cats. Oh.
Anyway, you were saying?
The one shot I've published version like Oil Shapers, where you have to kill an ice dragon, and like the main question of the adventure is, which route do you take? Do you go through the mountains? Do you take the winter forest, or do you go to the relatively safe valley? And you get different encounters depending on your route, and it gives the players, a bit of a choice, whilst still keeping the main adventure relatively simple and straightforward.
Yep, I played that one. That's also a good idea.
The other thing you could do is just like they said, do a river upriver adventure where there's something in the water that keeps taking people off the boats.
Ooh, creepy water monster.
Literally do the movie Python, but in your world.
Or do Sharknado.
Sharknado. Well, let's say something in the water. I don't know if either one of you caught it. When I ran that Nuts game in the TFE setting for Peter, they had something in the water chasing them.
I did watch some of it. I didn't
yeah,
watch
they thought it was a blood oiler in the water, and then a couple of them got nipped, and it was just a snapping turtle that got them. And then at the end, the blood oiler started coming out of the water, and a gigantic croc ate it, and that's what they had to fight instead.
I did hear about that. Yeah.
I didn't saw it. It was too late.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. A big old alligator, not crocodile. There's a difference.
There is a difference.
Something in the water tropes. Yeah, those are fun.
It is very creepy because it forces you out of your main element.
Yeah, I've brought it up before, I'm pretty sure, but one of the, I think, favorite sessions in the campaigns that I did, favorites from the players, was there was an area of a dungeon they had to do. There was some water shenanigans, and they knew there was something in the water, but they couldn't see it. So, like, when they first walked through this section, they saw a big old half pipe that was drained, but it still had a little wet spot in it. So they're like, okay, they could just go in and out, and then they go to the next room, and part of the room was flooded, and then there was these little jumps they had to do, and then something nipped at them right as they were doing a very safe jump. So that was the warning, like, oh, we're going to be dealing with water, and there's something in the water. And then as they got into farther rooms, they had to puzzles of lowering and raising the water, and times where they just looked like they had to get in the water and risk getting grabbed by whatever it was. Let's see. Whenever the players start questioning and guessing what the monster is, you've won as a GM when it's not entirely obvious, when there are false positives, red herrings, or different clues. Sewer mission. Find the missing child. And as a wild sage. Hello, sage.
Oh, sage.
So TF River Crossing. That was one. Blaze says, choose your own adventure. Choose your own adventure path. Wilderness exploration. Choose your path. Blazes. Ice dragon hunt. Now I'm just stealing people's stuff.
Yeah, feel free to borrow any ideas from me. God knows I have borrowed plenty of ideas from other places.
I mean, isn't that just creation?
What?
Isn't that just creation?
Inspiration.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a third one floating around. What was it? Or was it just
building a safe area?
creating a safe zone? Let's see. Caravan escort mission. That might be part of making a safe zone, though.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Those two could be tied together.
Are these the one shots or are these longer adventures?
Still one shots. So
Okay.
I think creating a safe zone could be a very lengthy endeavor, but yeah. Hello, John Scott. I think that's how you pronounce that. Just wait till I try and pronounce Carl's last name from Carl's Make Stuff in the next video. I butcher it.
Do you?
I don't even attempt.
Buttering is necessary if you want some tasty food sometimes.
That's true. That's true.
I like Carl.
I'm done with meetings.
Yeah.
How goes? We are coming up with different adventure ideas, Glee. We got over here. Never mind the lack of connection to the rooms, but that's our temple for the other one shot. So I just have to put it all together. And now we're coming up with other concepts. So I had the brilliant idea to steal Peter's river crossing one and just critterfy it and have a moss monster at the end instead of a blood oiler. Also,
I'm kind of pushing upon Scrat, steal my ideas.
Yeah, that too. I actually, Peter knows this. I showed it to him a while back, but give you some little behind the scenes lore on some of my doodles in my videos. Let's see. I gotta find it. Sketches. Of course, that's gonna be kind of hard to see, isn't it? Let's see. Let's do this. Background. There we go. That map they're all looking at is actually the TFE river crossing one shot.
I didn't realize that.
It is. I snuck it in there.
Sneaky, sneaky thief.
Yep. All right. Swan boat cruise. Yeah. Nothing too fancy. Goofing off, talking about inviting themselves, and then getting married. All right. There's also the Twice Dead Swamp. Do I want to have something with that?
You should. It was a really cool map.
Always great places for adventures.
The very first Blood Oiler fan art comes from Scrat too. That's true. That's way back there.
Ishanekon Watching also has an official Blood Oiler stat block.
Ooh. So if we did the twice...
Sorry. No.
I was gonna say, if we did the Twice Dead Swamp, what would the goal? What would you do there? Because that's like a very bad area you just stay away from. And it has PlayStation. The Twice Dead Swamp has that owl that scoops people up and drops them in the swamp. So maybe you could just be near it.
You
Or-
could just be near it. Yeah,
Or maybe you're just trying to get through it.
that's an option.
That could be your something in the water.
Or retrieve something in it.
Or maybe the child of the mayor has a very rare disease, and the only known cure is a specific swamp plant. So, good luck out there.
Twice Dead Swamp. Trying to cross it for some reason. Trying to get a plant from it. What was the other one?
That was basically it. I just said something, trying to get something from it. Plant as works.
Okay. Let's see. Something from it.
Something could be taking children away from it, like children getting too close to the swamp. That owl could be swiping them, and
That's when you learn what's in the swamp is the owl. Bunch of birds out there. But you don't get to kill the owl. He's super dangerous. You just try to not get caught.
Maybe
or maybe
the last kid that it kidnapped before it's.
maybe they think it's the owl when in reality it's something else.
Something in the water.
It's always in the water.
It's always in the water.
Cthulhu is calling.
The owl can swim, turns out.
Alex
dragon.
To know.
It might be a little worse than a dragon because it's technically a moss owl, a hollow tongue, so like a corrupted dragon.
A lich dragon.
Okay, so that's one. Excuse me. Crossing the swamp. See, that's another one of those maps that's hard to make. Because you can't obstruct the view, though maybe if we're critters we can, but like when I was making the swamp map for that TFE game, the idea was to get to a boat. So I was like, okay, well, if I drop them in here, like they're just going to be able to see the boat. So I had to position all the houses in such a way that it obscured the view of that little boat. That was their way out. And that's why...
One way is, they are critters. Just treat the swamp like a big overland map, and they just have like a 1 meter, and they can just look 1 meter wide, and they have to explore the swamp. And if there's like a specific encounter, you just swap to the encounter map.
I was gonna say the swamp could also, since this is like a very weird magic-y swamp, it could have a some kind of super dense fog to it too, obscuring their vision.
That's one way of doing it.
There's water.
I can't type.
Those water birds that also just like that could be really creepy for a critter.
Yeah, I was like, you wouldn't see the owl coming until it's like,
and you just realize that the big 2 tubes behind you are not plants, but like legs, and they start moving.
Every so often, you just have the party. It's like, all right, everybody roll a d6, and if somebody rolls a 1, you just tell the rest of the party. It's like, all right, you turn around, and Blaze is gone.
Why me? Was it because I was dancing and drawing
No,
all
it's
the
because you
attention?
rolled a 1.
I'm on an adventure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just yeets him away. Woo.
You could do a defend the safe zone type situation, like a zombie charge.
But, I mean, there are
or
bad guys in this setting. Like, there's bandits and stuff too. So somebody wants
Yeah.
to take a safe zone for themselves, or the lizards. We can make the lizards. Haven't decided yet if the lizards are going to be also anthropomorphic-y and people-y like the players, or if they're going to be more animal.
Wild and
Yeah. This physical comedy's on point. All right.
I was just writing an answer to that one. Thank you.
What was it? Defend the safe zone.
like Lord of the Rings style.
Bandits, lizards. Ooh, golly, hunting a hollow tongue. Like that's the whole one shot is tracking it down and finding it.
Yep.
And maybe building a trap for it also.
Yeah,
has
it's like
lots of
however you want to do
potential
it.
ways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that would be kind of interesting if like you had some old runs and it's like, hey, we got this. You can set up this trap, but you got to get in there, do all this stuff before the hollow tongue shows up.
Mhm.
Hunt the hollow tongue.
Why are they called hollow tongue? Again?
I don't know. Let me go find my notes.
Yeah.
Let's
Isn't it
see.
interesting how many times you don't remember what you wrote?
I did the lore a while back. Hollow tongues because of the weird ghostly whispers they emit when they're nearby. So like you hear them whispering in your head, but it doesn't make any sense. It's a bunch of different voices. And like even I don't know if you guys have played Skyrim or not, but you know how when the dragons roar, they're actually saying words.
Mhm.
Very similar. So like when they do stuff, it's just whispers going into your head. Yes. But also hollow because the creature has been taken over, consumed, and they are no longer in their right mind. So,
Weird creature
tracking,
design.
finding,
Possibly trapping.
maybe traveling. Could go to a specific area to set up old traps left behind. Something like that. Okay.
Mhm.
That one sounds fun, but that one sounds difficult to make. Okay.
It
I
definitely
think
sounds like it would be the longest.
yeah. That sounds definitely like it would be part of a longer adventure, like part of making a safe zone. Like, okay, you do these couple caravan runs, and there's like, okay, but there's this hollow tongue nearby. We have heard it, so we have to go set up and clear the area. Yep. That could be a multi-session thing. Battle toads. I guess, yeah. If the moss monsters the moss corrupted some toads, then you could have battle toads. Or just a couple brawlers that are toads. I'm still undecided if lizards are just automatically bad guys or just basic animals and that's what everybody eats or what. So that means I would make turtles bad guys, and I like turtles. So
I mean, not necessarily that they're bad guys, but that they're animalistic, right? So
yeah. Could make your
So you could
turtle a
still
beast of burden.
tame a turtle, maybe. And there's like this safe zone civilization that lives close to a river that has tamed turtles for transportation.
Turtles.
Turtle.
Turtle. All right. I think that's good. That gives me something to work with. I don't really want to dive into it too much since we're kind of close to the end. We do have a good set up over here.
A good first one to make.
Yep. I just, like I said, I just want a couple, 2 or 3. 3 would be nice. Different one shots to start running tests with different people. Speaking of, I should have brought that up at the beginning. I do need people to volunteer for testing. I know a lot of people did in previous streams, but now we're actually to that point. I say, but I got all that other junk going on with artists and the editor and trying to get a book written. I'm swamped, man. I'm dying. So when can I run a game on
I
Moss and Stone?
I totally get the stress, man. Like the creator lifestyle is not an easy one.
You can't do just one project.
Nope.
You know, the way I solved it, I just have a mega project, and all the projects I'm working on are part of the mega project. So whatever I'm doing, I'm still working on the mega project.
Well,
I don't have 5 or 6 projects in the works.
I say Dave almost had the Umbrella Project thing going because he's got this Ironbound system, and then he can have like Plaguebound, and then Masked Paws was going to be that, but then it moved over to something else. So he started off right, and then he strayed from the path.
But yeah, before I started working on Ishanekon World Chapters, I had so many ideas. Like, oh, how about this book with like book series with 4 books and 5 chapters exist of that, and that's it. Or oh, I want to draw this comic and 7 pages of that. Like, I have the whole story with like 3 books of comics and multiple chapters of like this huge saga. And if I told you the whole story, it would probably take like 3 hours. But like, no, only 6 pages exist. And
So let's see. Austin, when can I run a game of Moss and Stone? I mean, technically nothing's stopping you. But I did just realize I got a bunch of stuff I want to run by Scotty first. Like, I imagine the answer is probably yes, but I just want to be nice and double check. But like, taking inclinations that he's already made and basically his scrolls and just making Whisper Stones is like, hey, is it okay to just, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel over and over, can I just eat this over here? A little copy paste on some stuff. But so I want to get the Word doc prettied up, send
He's
it to him.
pretty good about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what Sage, if you're still hanging out in the chat, Zellerin does a lot of that. Like a lot of the inclinations are just word for word. He just changed the name of them to match the setting. So, because, like a boon in melee attacks, it's like, well, yeah, of course I'm going to have that as an inclination. So,
Right. You
Yeah.
know?
so, but I just want to run it by. It's like, hey, is this taking too much or is this fine? Whatever.
I don't blame you.
Yep. Running it
I
by
did
the
the
boss,
same.
man. It's his product after all. So,
Right.
so yeah, I need to do that probably before I actually test anything or play anything, but we can still be making maps in the meantime. That way we will have something if and when we get approval. So yeah. I'm super excited for the nuts art. That turned out
Yeah,
a lot better than I thought it would. So I mean, I've seen some of her stuff and I was like, oh, those are so cool. I don't know how well they're going to fit with nuts. But then when I saw them and put them on there, I was like, that's it, man. So
they look great.
Yeah.
It's always great when this art starts to roll in for you, the project, right? So it's taking form.
I'm hoping to find that kind of luck with the YouTube channel. And not these 3 people I reached out to and then they all come back with something I hate. So here's hoping. Of course.
You got
like squirrel art for your squirrel avatar, you mean?
So the avatar in the video stays the same. It's going to be the stock dude. This is going to be a squirrel to use on the channel logo and banner and then in thumbnails. So
you do realize you're going to get 3 amazing things.
That's what I was just about to say. With my luck, all 3 of them are going to be great. So it's going to be like, dadgummit. So maybe, I don't know, we'll just have alternating thumbnails in that case. You'll eventually change it or convince him to change. I don't know. The people like the stock squirrel, though. He's part of the charm.
It has so much charm.
I see the logic behind it, but
like squeeze it and like, ooh,
yeah, I'm too far down the squirrel hole to change it now. So
what you're gonna have to do, Glee, is eventually get him to have this artist set up a puppet for their version of the squirrel, so that he can lip sync and
move some arms,
wiggle it. move some arms.
His arms are down here, but I keep having him hold stuff out here. It's very silly looking. Oh man. All right. Well, we'll close it out there. The world knows how swamped I am now and what I got going on. So people like what's familiar. That's true. I mean, it's a charming little squirrel.
Yeah, I keep still dragging you into things.
You can try it with a new squirrel, and maybe the people will like it.
I'd say there was one guy I was watching, and he had like, I think 100,000+ subscribers at the time. His thing was just a few different PNGs of like a drawn version of himself or whatever his character is, and then in one video he tried to animate that. He had something rigged up that kind of moved on its own and tried to lip sync with what he was doing, but it looked fairly different, and everybody was like, please don't. He tried that on one video.
Hey, sometimes you get, sometimes you don't.
Yep. Yeah, he tried it, but yeah, just tried to be like it was constantly kind of moving versus just swapping between 2 or 3 different PNGs. So, and then later he updated the style of his PNGs, but it was still just the very cheap switching between the two, and everybody was fine with that because it was more characterized or whatever the word is for that. But no, that animated one, people are like, that thing's scary looking. Okay, not that different. Yeah. That was a shock.
What they don't know is that what you're currently showing is your VTuber model, and that you are squirrels in real life.
Yeah, that's it. PNG tubers are a great middle ground. Yeah, man. Don't really need much else. Anyway.
But hey, if you want to try out a different squirrel, I support your vision.
Well, thanks, man. Well, let's just do some.
I'm gonna be the opposite. I don't support the vision. Keep the squirrel.
I gotta get something for the logo, because like when I join people's streams, they're like, "Hey, you got anything I can put on here?" Yes, no. I got just here's a stock image of a squirrel, and it doesn't show up on anything. Yeah, it's so hard to see. It's almost like that natural camouflage fur they have is working or something. So just blends into everything.
Yes, it does.
So anyway,
I'm somebody who has you on a lot of things.
Yeah. I'm gonna log us out here or shut us down.
All
so
right.
everybody say bye, YouTube.
All.
Bye, YouTube.
Woo.